What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Between the Laughs. Myself, Carlos Mencia and Gabe Lopez here. Hey, man. So now we're going to talk about this, but the government shutdown, I guess, is going to be over today. So for me, because I travel so much, that's a good thing. Because we were starting to get delayed flights. They were cutting down on flights because of the air traffic controllers.
Yeah.
So it was getting like to the point where, I mean, and you got to feel bad. Like, you got to feel bad for all of the employees. I want to say some of the employees, but I mean, I guess extra bad.
Yeah, but it impacts at least tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of employees around the country.
Federal workers, it's a lot, bro.
Because people don't realize from air traffic controllers, because that affects you personally. Also, all the park rangers from every national park around the country.
Oh yeah, they were closed.
They were closed.
That's
all
right.
the parks were closed.
Oh, that's right. Because my brother Albert went to. He was gonna go to a park by the house.
Yeah.
And I guess we didn't realize that it was a state park.
And all those things were closed.
Those big ass the yellow gates, the big ass yellow gates.
Yeah.
All closed.
Yeah. And you know why they stay closed? Because obviously it's a park. You should be able to go through it. Trash cans. Who's gonna be able to like do the maintenance?
Right.
Just the day-to-day maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that. Like you just don't realize the impact of the government shutting down does.
Well, think about a family who don't have a lot of money, right? Who planned the trip to Yosemite.
Yeah.
But planning it for years.
Yeah.
Kids, we're gonna see the geyser.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's closed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just a lot of stuff is happening to these people, and they didn't get paid, and that kind of sucks. So I'm glad that it's back. And I don't do a lot of stuff about government. I mean, we haven't anyway about government and that kind of stuff. And I just there was a period of time where I was just like watching the news every day, listening to the podcasts, listening to the radio shows, that talked about the government.
Yeah.
And it was a cycle of about 15-ish years where I was just every day. I didn't talk about it that much in my act, but it was every day. But what I realized was that there are very, very few laws, if any, for me anyway, that have changed my life.
Got it.
Like after kind of I kind of stopped, looked back and went, all right, after all the shit that I've seen and read and heard and been in, and thought, oh my God, none of it was that significant.
Yeah. It wasn't as impactful to you as it was to other people.
Right. But I think to a lot of people, I mean, look back at the past 20 years. What laws affected you? What laws that were passed or repealed, like where you were like, oh fuck, right?
Nothing comes to mind.
Obamacare probably.
That one, that's
because you either got better premiums, or they went up depending on because there's a small sliver of people where they went up.
Well, because of Obamacare also made it mandatory for everybody to have insurance. Mm-hmm. Like so many years ago where it became mandatory to have car insurance.
Right.
So let me get this right. My car has better insurance than I do. Mm-hmm. And it's like people, like it's amazing how hard it was to get something like that passed. Because I was still an adult enough and paying attention to politics enough where this particular president, his goal, which is a monster goal, is to make sure every American citizen had health insurance. Were there hiccups? Of course there were.
Well, not hiccups. I mean, look, every single law that's ever been passed in the history of the world that's complex. I mean, have you ever seen a printed out law?
Some of them are monstrous.
Huge. And the legal speak in there is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sometimes hundreds of pages, sometimes thousands for a law. Mm-hmm. This one was huge.
Yeah.
Huge. So, of course, but what it does, what I don't like about it, the whole system, is that it's set up based on fear. Everything is like fear-based. Everything is, they're going to take this away from you. This is going to change. That's going to get fucked up. This is going to... And so people get scared.
They create the panic.
They create the panic.
Because the other side will create the panic, because it's
Correct.
usually one side
Right.
that wants it to push through,
Right.
and then the other side that'll create the panic.
Yes, the ones, but it's what you were saying though. When you really get down to it, this guy wants everybody to have health insurance. Why do we demonize that?
And why were people fighting it?
Uh-huh.
And the people that are fighting it, I'm sure, had health care.
Oh, the people fighting it had health care.
Yeah.
Bro, I know people in the hood. I grew up there. They weren't. Those people were not saying, no, we don't want health care.
Yeah.
But my point is that, look, you look back and there's one law that really affected, like, big. And, yeah, sure, there's little things here and there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This tax credit, that tax credit. But at the end of the day, it all kind of comes to the wash.
It balances out.
And you know, I did this joke the other day, and while I was telling the joke, I was like, wow, interesting. Because I was talking about presidents and, you know, how presidents can't fuck up this country. And that there's, in our lifetime, as an adult anyway, there's only one president that we've ever had that when he left office, there was a surplus in our budget instead of a deficit, and the government was running pretty good. And that was Clinton. And he was the one guy that we know wasn't really paying that much attention to the laws. Because, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're going to say something, though.
Yeah, because, well, like other things that didn't necessarily impact us, but keep coming up in our lifetime, positive, negative, yes or no, is gay marriage and abortion. Those are the two things that I've seen my entire life.
They keep coming up.
We have it,
Right.
or no. And yes,
Right.
and no.
Right.
And I just don't understand it. Like, why is this still an issue? It's 2025. Why is this still a fucking issue?
Well, abortion you do understand, right?
Well,
Like, you do understand that will never, people that think it's murder, right? If you don't believe it's murder, it's kind of hard to really put yourself in their shoes. But if you imagine that you really believed you're fucking murdering a child,
Yeah.
that's never going to change. There's no, even if 99% of all Americans, and they did a thing where we all had to vote,
Yeah.
and we all voted like, yes, women should be able to, you know, have their abortions if they want to. That 1% is still going to be like, I don't give a fuck. It's murder, and that's what it is, and you're all going to hell. What I don't understand about that argument specifically, especially from Christians, which I am one, by the way. I'm a Catholic, but, you know, follow the faith of the... What I don't understand is, according to our religion, we are not supposed to judge. That job belongs to one person and one person only,
Yeah.
right? To Jesus.
yeah.
He will get on his white horse and blah, blah, blah. And so what I don't understand is, if I believed, and I'm not sure, I haven't even really thought about it, but if I believed that it was murder, I would say, well, you could do whatever you want. You're going to get punished by God, so whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't give a shit and be like, well, you got to stop it because the kids... First of all, if you really believe your faith, you believe that that kid went to heaven.
Yeah. I didn't even think about it that way.
And,
yeah.
and look at it this way. Most people think that this life is filled with pain and burdensome. You know, would I have enjoyed being a baby and then just getting in heaven going, the fuck happened? Where did my life go? Up. They pulled you out before you came out. But I'm in heaven. You are. Yay! Right? Wouldn't it feel like you skipped the line?
Absolutely.
Right? So I don't understand why that judgment of it is happening in that respect. And I think it's the same for gay marriage. But I also don't understand, who cares? Why do we care?
If it doesn't affect you, why do you care?
But I know people that it doesn't affect, and they're so fired up about it.
Yeah.
They're so like, oh no, it's against God and okay, so then God will take care of it.
But you are one person, but you're a politician making the decision for thousands, if not millions of other people. But your job is to represent the people and represent the general consensus, don't you think?
Yeah, and the general consensus is that most people think that gay people should be allowed to get married Well, first of all, for any fucking person out there who's listening to this, who's like, but Carlos, shut the fuck up about sanctity of marriage. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to hear it because last night when I got home, I turned on the TV, and the first thing I saw was a commercial for Married at First Sight.
Yes, that's a show.
That's just one of the permutations of people that get married. So you're gonna sit there and tell me that we have a sanctity of marriage when there's literally a fucking show where you get married before you even meet?
Yeah. Yes.
Come on, that's so stupid. It's for me it's about them having being able to bro, there were horror stories, and I lived some of them. Well, I was there when my cousin, who's gay, wasn't married, but he had a life partner back before gay marriage.
Yeah.
And he adopted a kid. They adopted a kid, but they can adopt a kid. Only one of them can adopt a kid.
One of them could.
Yeah. And dude, he had an accident and he passed away, and they took the kid away from the only parent he ever knew.
Yeah.
Right.
And how is that right?
Yeah, well, I'm sure that if there's somebody out there and that's God, because God wanted that child to be raised by a normal person, not some deviant butt pirate.
So this poor kid
Yes.
getting pulled away from the other parent.
Yeah, and by the way, the kid was early teens.
Okay,
I think 13.
so he didn't know another life. This is the life he knew.
Yeah, and he was adopted when he was a baby.
I had two dads. This is what I knew. And now you're going to rip each other's hearts apart. And how is that the right thing to do?
Right. The only thing that saved us, bro. It isn't, by the way, it isn't the right thing to do, in my opinion. In my opinion.
But other people are following orders.
Right.
To do this.
Yeah, but there's so much incongruency with it. Like, God created us. Well, then God created the gay guy too. That's a creation of God.
Yeah.
He made him that way. And I don't understand people that think gay is I mean, look, maybe for some people, I don't know what percentage of people, like, they weren't born gay, they're just okay with it, so to speak, like or bisexual, whatever it is. But here's what I've always said this: how can you believe in a baby born with two heads, right? Or Siamese, or that happens. There are one body, two heads.
Yeah,
this has occurred. This is we believe in genetic abnormalities. We know that those exist. A person born with three arms, whatever that is. Why would you not believe that somebody was born with the wire switched and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because we all start the same, right? Every man and every woman is born from the same little tiny fucking thing, and all the information gets extrapolated from that little tiny fucking cell that goes to chromosome, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
So, for me personally, it's not hard to believe that as we're fucking building, the brain is like, I'm a woman. I love being... Oh, there's a dick here. I don't see how. To me, that doesn't. It's not like far-fetched. Is it to you?
No. It's not. And also, my thing is,
But do you know any homophobes or people that
if I do, they haven't made it public to me.
Okay.
Because two of my closest friends, and you've met them, they're married lesbians.
Yes.
Two of the people closest to me in my life.
They're so sweet.
And I cannot picture them without each other. They and you see that. And at the end of the day, if you're lucky enough to have someone to go home to love, and they love you back,
yes.
Who gives a shit?
Right.
Who are they bothering?
Right. Bro, not just them, but I mean, we kind of grew up in an interesting era, right? Because, and me living in Mexico and living in Honduras. Number one, in Mexico, well, first of all, the people south of the border and I do joke about this, but you know it's true. For men, not lesbians. And that's interesting, by the way, that in the Latino community that I grew up in, Honduras and in Mexico, so, you know, they shit on gay women more than they shit on gay men. Like when I was growing up anyway, when I was, you know, so I'm 58, when I was, you know, between 10-ish, give or take 5 years, give or take, you know, those years, in Honduras, if you were a female lesbian, it was like, you fucking my Florida, blah, blah, blah. But with the gay guys, it was different. They were playful because in that culture, when I grew up, I fuck him. He no fuck me.
That was the mindset. Yeah.
That was the mindset.
Yeah.
The mindset was, yeah, he's gay. I'm going to fuck him. But I'm not gay.
Yeah.
You know, that's not me. He's the one.
Yeah.
So that was my... So I guess what I'm saying is that it felt okay. It didn't feel bad unless, like I told you, a masculine woman. And then, so it must be that society was very male-dominated. And when a woman wanted to go take away pussy from the equation, they were like, no, fuck you, that's wrong, what are you doing? But when a guy was like, I got an extra pussy, they were like, yes, no problem. That's what it felt like. But here in the United States, you know, it was different. There was when I was growing up anyway, there was a lot of, you know, and dude, I you know what? I get to talk about this, and I didn't know. There are moments in life where you look back and you remember, you know what I mean? And you wish you could take it back. And I grew up with a guy named Tim, and I talk about him in my act. But Timothy, he was gay, and we knew it. But once I started doing stand-up, I was at a Mayfield market in Santa Monica, and I was picking up some stuff for Mitzi. And I walked to the car, and Timothy was there. And he's like, Ned. I'm like, Timothy, holy shit, bro. How you been? What's my God? Wait a minute, we're in Santa Monica. Oh my God, you finally accepted that you're a fag. And I said it like that. And dude, the look on his face when I said fag,
You broke his heart?
I did, bro. I did, and I immediately took it back, like, cause I didn't mean negative
in a derogatory way.
No, I did not. I did not mean like you fucking homo, nothing like that. For me, it was very playful banter. You know what I mean? But I'd forgotten that he was the kid that didn't want to come out of the closet when we were in high school, and we were very sensitive to that. And so for me, it was almost like, you're out, you homo.
Yeah.
You know, like that. But I don't know how. I don't know why. And, dude, to see the look on his face for those few seconds, Tim, I'm so sorry, man. I know what it felt like. I saw your face, and
Did he just walk away from you at that point?
No, it didn't end like that. I mean, I fixed it immediately, and then we laughed. But you can't take back that moment, bro.
No.
I can't take back that moment. Look, my eyes are tearing, bro. I know a lot of you people think I'm a monster. And I know that for a fact. I know that because of how I do what I do, right? Especially when I was younger. And you could speak more to this, because when you're in it, it's hard to see it. But I feel like I was more abrasive when I was younger in my stand-up. I feel like there was a little bit more of a fuck you, I don't care attitude that came out. Whereas to today, it's I care about you.
Yeah.
It's not fuck you, I don't care. It's I do care very much. This is my job. I want you to laugh. I don't want to piss anybody off. That's not my job. I don't sacrifice what I do for a living or how I do it. But I think that if you look at, me 20 years ago Well, if you look at it, do 3 stages: first decade, second decade, and now I'm in. And wow, I'm past my 3rd decade. Almost 35 years. Wait.
Yeah, you're into your 4th decade.
88. I started in 88. So I'm going into my 4th. Oof. So if you break it down like that, I would say my first quarter was me finding myself. My second quarter, I was fucking just abrasive, don't care, just. The 3rd quarter, I began my transformation, began to be introspective. And then now I think that I'm at that space where I'm very at peace with what I am and who I am and what I do on stage and how I act and how I am. But yeah, that moment just, I'm sorry, Tim. And I know I apologize and everything was good there, but I just had been dreaming about this for some reason. Anyway, bringing it back. I just don't understand the chastising. I don't understand, and I'm glad that I've helped. Like Albert, dude, it was so funny because there's a place called Los Tacos. Oh, by the way, it's literally 3 blocks from the place that I'm telling you about, Mayfair. 2 blocks, yeah. Anyway, I'm hanging out there way back in the day. Albert's 17? Got it. Ish. This big fucking tranny, right? Transgender, transvestite, that's what the nomenclature was. Yeah. Again, not being mean. Just this big starts just looking at Albert, like literally. And we're in Boys Town. We're on Santa Monica Boulevard. Yeah. This is their avenue. This is all the clubs let out. Yeah. They're all coming to Los Tacos, bro. And this dude is licking his lips, bro. He's literally looking at Albert like, and bro, you just see Albert like in a movie, just his nails just grinding, and he's just like, and then he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, hey, bro, if he tries anything, I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of him." And I'm looking at Albert like, A, calm down, child. Yeah. B, that dude is about 6'2", or chick, whatever. This is 6'2".
If he wants you, he's gonna have you.
Yeah, you're done. And I remember, looking at him, going, "Bro, why are you mad? What is wrong with you, bro? Why would you? He thought you were fuckable. What is wrong with that? Who cares what it is? Like, who gives a shit if somebody says something that's supposed to lift your self-esteem just a little bit? Yeah. You know what I mean?" Like, we have parrots in Honduras, right, that we caught as babies. Like, literally one day we're walking through the mountains, and we hear, the parrot look up. A parrot flies into a hole on the top of the tree, and we see it feeding the baby. So we're like, oh, shit. So we, get the rope, get the little spurs that you put to your boots, climb the tree.
Climbing up, yep.
Climb the tree. 2 little baby birds. We waited till they were almost ready to fly, so that the mom, would feel like she raised her kid. Because I've always been sensitive like that. Because the guy that I did it with, his name is Wilfredo. He was like, "No, let's just take them. Let's just take the birds." And they were babies. The feathers were coming out, but they were still babies. Yeah. And I was like, "No, dude. Could you imagine how fucked up that's going to be? The mom's going to fly back? Like, where do my kids go?" Yeah. Like, I can't do that. So what we did was, when the feathers started coming in, we just monitored it every day. And then when the birds were almost ready to fly, then we took them. So that when the mom came back, the mom would probably go, "Oh, fuck, they finally flew away. Fuck yeah, nice." Yeah. At least that's what I'm hoping, bro. That's what, I was 12 at the time. That was pretty nice for a 12-year-old kid to think that. Why are you shaking your head?
You paint a beautiful picture. Like, this is what happened. This is what happened. I'm sure this is what happened. We stole the mom's babies, but the mom is going to think that they flew away. Not look out the window.
And all of a sudden she shows up with a little fucking. Wait, what are these spikes going up these trees?
Yes.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I see some evidence here. There's been some tomfoolery going on. But point being, if those birds that could talk, by the way, they could talk, like, and they could talk in context. So when they were little, we raised them. You know, we never we let them fly.
Yeah.
We just fed them every day and just took care of them. And, you know, we're very nice to them, gave them their treats and stuff.
Yeah.
So they never fly away. But one of them, Dices, would get on my shoulder. And I'd say, hey, let's go to the river. And she'd be like, vamos al río. Like that. It sounded like that. Vamos al río. And we would go. And then once we were in the river and I would, like, you know, give her a little bath, she would go, vamos a la casa, which means, like, let's go home now. My point is this. Anyway, in telling this whole fucking story, if that bird would have said, te la quiero meter, like, I want to put it in you, I would have been like, really? Wait a minute. Let's have a conversation about this. So you find me fucking...
My brother had tranny issues. I have parrot issues.
I don't understand. You know, I've been hit on by plenty of gay guys. The only time that it got not weird, and I don't want to mention the name because he's a kind of well-known. Back in the day, Louis Anderson tried to hit on me, bro, and I hung out with him. We hung out. We did some stuff together.
Hey, Carlos.
And
you're looking really good today.
And that, he was nice. He wasn't like, you know, I'm gonna rape you kind of guy. He was very sweet.
I'm not a very aggressive guy, Carlos, but
no,
but you're looking
funny.
You're looking beautiful today.
Wow, look at you. You want to go hang out? Yes, I do. I love the attention, but I let him know, like, hey, I'm not gay, and he was so sweet about it.
Neither am I.
Yeah, he was so sweet about it, and I enjoyed it. So I'm sitting there looking at Albert, going, bro, I don't understand this anger. Like, that just somebody thought you were pretty. Somebody thought you were beautiful. Somebody thought you were attractive.
It's always lack of understanding, lack of knowledge. Like for example, I don't do much about politics because I'm not educated enough where I feel I can speak about it really intelligently to have a really good conversation about it.
Right.
You know, but I am smart enough to know when they're trying to pass a monster bill or trying to get the government reopened.
Right.
The Republicans are blaming the Democrats, but there's always some bullshit.
Right.
Hey, everybody's gonna get their benefits. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this, and then this fucked up thing that we're gonna do too.
Right. Yeah, that's what it is. But anyway, to come back around with the story, a couple of months ago, me and Albert, middle of the night, I go, bro, you want to go old school, Los Tacos? He goes, oh my God.
So we went back to tacos.
So we went back to Los Tacos. This was a few months ago, right? So remember, I was, let me see, 22 when that happened. I'm 58 to the math. So that many years later. And we go. It's packed. I got hit on. It was badass. We sat down and left. And on the way to the house, I look over and Bert's got a little pouty face.
Nobody picked up on him.
Yes.
Nobody picked up on him.
Yes. he was like, that guy hit on you. I go, yeah. He's like, dude, I've lost weight. I'm like, what the fuck? And I was so proud, bro. I was so elated. I was in such a good space because I'm like, I was happy on so many levels. I was happy because my brother is a man that I love, is a man that I respect, is a man that I can look at in the face and go, bro. And I can say I helped mold that.
Yeah.
I was part of that. I literally said things to make him, in my opinion, a better human being. That was awesome, man.
That's great.
Yeah, that was awesome. But I don't know how this turned into a fucking the whole thing. But since we're here, I was tricked, at least not told. 1996, and I do a joke about this. I was pretty good friends with Ron Jeremy before he went a little nuts. He's on mine and Mencia, by the way. And he introduced me to this chick. And, you know, long story short, after everything, after we hung out, we partied, we had sex. It's a long, great story. I'll tell it some other time. Point being that at the end of all this, she told me casually that she used to be, you know, a dude. And I remember thinking at that moment, I have had moments in my life before that where I was like, how would I feel? How would I react if this happened to me? And she was so cool. She was such a fun person to hang out with that I was like, oh, cool. Didn't even flinch. To the point where I immediately told Albert that, you know, and then of course that was a fucking mistake.
Yeah.
Because he just went, oh, dude, I get to fuck with you about this your entire life? I had no idea that I was setting him up for that. So, of course, bro, anytime we're around a transgender, anytime we're around an effeminate dude that might look, or he's on me, bro. Hey, bro. Hey. Yeah. Shoving him over to me and like, hey, right there, that guy right there. Like, that kind of thing. But I didn't. Look, I could talk about it, and I know because of how blasé it feels, I'm sure people think I'm full of shit. I'm sure people are like, nah, that didn't happen. It did. It happened. And I don't care. You know, as far as I'm concerned, I was, as far as my senses are concerned, I was with a guy. I was with a woman. You know what I mean? I wasn't with a guy. Everything that I experienced.
What you saw visually.
And heard and felt and the whole thing.
Turned you on.
She felt like a woman.
And not until afterwards, hey, I got to tell you something.
Right. No, but it wasn't even like that. It wasn't even like, oh, by the way, we were just talking about, you know, when I was younger. And then she was like, oh, yeah, well, I was in wrestling. I was like, wait, what? Oh, yeah, I used to be a wrestler. Oh, yeah, well, wait, they had female. Wait.
Wait.
Right. It could have been one of those moments where it's like, wait. Oh, fuck, right? No, but it wasn't like that, bro. No, I'm not ashamed. I'm not embarrassed. I wasn't angry at her. I wasn't.
You should be. Because, one, you can't do anything about the past. Two, you liked it during.
I liked her after. You know, this was way before cell phones. So, and she's from England. That was another thing.
Oh, she was British.
So she had the accent. So it was like, ooh. I mean, it was nice. It was nice. It was pleasant, a very pleasant experience, bro. We couldn't stay in touch because, you know, she went over there and blah, 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 and whatever happened. Like, you know, she moved on or whatever that is. But yeah, I don't, you know, and I've seen movies, you know, and have stories, of course, where that happened, and then the guy. But one of them, and this is a pretty cool story. So this big, okay, I got to be careful. Somebody that I know, really masculine dude, known him for a minute, from Alabama, really country. We're on a golf course, bro. We're on a golf course, and somehow this came up, and he goes, man, let me tell you a story. One time, Carlos, I'm hanging out with this girl. She starts giving me a blowjob, and it was so goddamn amazing, and I reached down to touch her vagina, and I grab a big old dick. Big old dick. You know what I did, Carlos? I go, I don't want to think about it, because in my head, you're about to say I beat the fuck out of that fag or some stupid shit like that. And he goes, I looked at her and I said, when you're done, we're going to have a conversation about this. like, oh my God, you're straight out of Honduras, bro. Get rid of that accent and put in the Honduran accent. The same shit, you know what I mean? Like,
when you're done doing what you're doing, we're gonna have a conversation.
yep, that was it. But the transgender thing, a lot of people feel like it's being shoved down their throats, and I don't understand what that means. Do you know where that comes from? Where they're like, just don't shove it down my throat. Does it feel like it's being shoved down people's throats?
This is my opinion, because there was a point where it seemed like at least like you couldn't watch anything on TV without not gay, trans being prevalent, and it just seemed to be pushed like you need to accept us who we are, accept us for who we are. And my whole defense is I don't care. You are who you are. You love who you love. But why do we have to accept it immediately when it took you a lifetime to get to this point?
Right. I can see that point of view. For some people.
And I'm going to accept it. I don't care.
Right. But, you don't have kids.
Yeah.
And a lot of people with kids fear that influence,
But no different that this goes against the Bible or this goes against whatever religion. Insert religious
No,
book
not
here.
even that. That like, so the idea is basically like, if my kid sees two grown men making out, he's gonna think it's okay for men to make out. And my whole thing about that has always been, dude, if you're gay, you're gay. If you're not, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not.
So you don't think you can be taught, like if that's your influence your entire life?
No. But and
I agree with you. But
here's so I have a really good friend who's gay, and when we were early 20s, we were talking about what's the difference between heterosexual and gay, and he goes, "Do you trust me?" I go, "I do, but I feel like you're gonna say some fucked up shit right now."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like one of those. And he goes, "Dude, just okay." So he put a wall of pillows between us, right? And we sat on a couch, and we watched regular porn.
Okay.
And he goes, "How's that flag?" I go, "Full mast, buddy." He goes, "Look over to me." I looked over, nothing. The dude, I mean, he was just, there was no physical reaction. Then he put on a gay porn. And he goes, "What about now?" I go, "Dude, no, there's nothing." He goes, "Look over to me." I go, "No, I don't have to. I'm sure you're full mast."
I have figured out at this point where this story is going.
I think I know the ending to this one, bro. So I don't, as far as my kids are concerned, and listen, I kind of lived this. I didn't let my fears get to me, but my youngest son, Nicholas, was born with hair, a lot of hair. And now it's down to his ass. I think he's cut it once in his 8 years of life, but it was just like a little bit. But anyway, he has really long hair.
Got it.
And I knew that they were going to confuse him for a girl. I knew that he was going to get called a girl. I knew that it was, we still live in some people think it's feminine. Like one of his grandmothers was like, "You should cut his hair so he could look like a little boy." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I actually kind of was thinking what you were thinking.
Yeah.
If he gets called a girl over and over and over again, could this like affect him? Is he gonna make him more effeminate? Is he gonna be like, "Hey, maybe I am a girl"? Is he, is this gonna turn him gay? I mean, all that shit that happens when you're a fucking parent and you're freaked out and you want the easiest, most comfortable life. But now he's gotten to a point where when people go, "Oh, her hair is so beautiful," she's like, "I'm a boy. I'm a boy." And calmly,
he does that, really?
Not angry, not mean, nothing. Just, I'm not a girl. I love my hair. I like my hair. And like this. And when they say you should cut it, he's like, "No, And when they go, but sometimes they think you're a girl. It's okay. I just tell them I'm a boy. That's fine. No problem. And dude, what a fucking sigh of relief, bro. But I had those feelings of like insecurity of, well, shit, wait. You know what I mean? And I had to stop myself.
Yeah.
I had to stop myself. That being said, this is like the final thing when it comes to this whole LGBTQ thing, because it's really, really about the transgenders. How do you feel about, women that are trans competing in cisgendered women's sports? That's the big one, right? That's the one to me. Acceptance, whatever. Go to school, whatever. Dress, whatever. There's two things. Number one, teenagers are, in most countries now, not allowed to take hormone therapy to transition. In America, you can still do that. But in other countries, you got to wait till you're 18. Now, from a physical standpoint, do you know about those drugs and what they do and all that kind of stuff?
I don't.
So basically, the younger you are, when you start taking, hormone therapy, the easier it is to get the Adam's apple gone, to get, the masculine features, the facial hair, all that kind of stuff, to stay small, to get, to get hips, to get the voice, all of that. It's easier the younger you are. But I am, my view on it is, if you're, once you're 18, you should be able to do what you want.
I agree.
But, before that, you're not mature yet. And this isn't saying don't transition. It's transition when you're mature enough that you're not going to go, where's my dick? You know what I'm saying?
But it's like getting a tattoo. It's like most states you have to be 18. And if it's younger, you got to get a parent consent to get it done. But there's nothing. I don't have any tattoos. I don't think you have any either, do you?
I am when my dad dies.
I just see it like, if you're 16, you don't know enough about the world to get something on your body permanently to make a decision like that. And this is just a tattoo.
It's really basic, Tattoo.
Let your parents be the fucking parent. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you don't agree with it. That's not your decision to make. Mm-hmm. Until you're 18, that is my decision to make for you.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I'm your parent. I don't want you to fail. I think you might regret this. And wait 2 years. And if you still want it when you're 18, guess what? Have fucking at it.
I'll be supportive. I'll take you to the doctor. I'll go with you to the treatments. Fine. Yeah. I agree. So that's one of them. And the other one is in sports.
Yeah, that's
a tough one, right?
That's a tightrope, because it's one thing if there are certain things males are naturally stronger.
There is a physical difference
between
men and women.
There is a physical difference. Because I remember that swimmer that transitioned from being a male swimmer to a female swimmer, getting first place on all these races.
Mediocre as a male swimmer.
Yes. Phenomenal as a female swimmer.
Best female swimmer in the history of the world.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because I remember somebody did a joke about it that I thought was hilarious. It's like I'm the best female swimmer in the world, and those that don't like it can suck my dick. I thought that was such a I thought there was such a brilliant joke, because it proved such a wonderful, simple point.
Right.
Is that there was a genuine advantage.
Correct.
It's one thing if we're playing chess.
Correct.
Your brain, my brain, it's going back and forth. I was a dude, now I'm a girl, and I can still beat you.
Cool.
But there are certain physical. Yeah. Because Dave Chappelle said it perfectly. If there was true equality, there would be no WNBA. There would just be girls that are good enough to be in the NBA.
Correct.
That's true equality.
Well, but it's not. No, I think yes, I agree. I think the word equality it's.
Because what if LeBron? That's the point Chappelle brought up. What if LeBron decided,
right,
I'm a woman,
right?
How would a WNBA look like with LeBron James as LeBrona or whatever we would, whatever you would call himself?
But we all know that men are. It doesn't mean we're not better. This is the problem. The problem is that back in the day, and even to this day, the misogyny, the men tell the story. They make it seem like the opposite of what you're saying.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, because it's coming from that male perspective.
Yeah.
We're better than you. No, that's
No.
not it. No, we're just born bigger.
It's a physical advantage, and there is such a thing as a physical
Yes,
advantage.
bone density is different. Listen, it's really simple. If men and women were the same, hormone therapy wouldn't be needed to transition.
Correct.
You would literally just cut off a dick and add it, or add a penis.
Yeah.
That's it. It's that simple. No, you're right. I don't know what the solution is, because I think, first of all, if they are doing hormone therapy, they're not full-on men anymore.
Yeah.
Right now, they've literally taken drugs to put them at a physical disadvantage when it comes to sports.
Yes.
But they have more of an advantage than born females. So they're stuck in this middle ground. Do I think that they should run and do that? Yes, I do. I think that the solution that I'm thinking of right now would be transgender athletes. The women to men, that's different. You know what I mean? Because if there's a woman who's wrestling men and kicking ass, have at it.
Yeah.
Because you're at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
So you get all the shit. But the opposite, I would just say compete. But in the end, you can't win the trophies. You can compete for competing's sake. You can go out there and swim. You can go out there and wrestle. But at the end of it all, you know, you can't get the gold medal. Because your advantage, your physical advantage in this specific genre. And I know that the best solution would be to just have a transgender, you know,
Leagues. Yeah.
or whatever that is.
And are there enough of them to create leagues?
Not even close. Not even remotely close. Think of the life that you and I have led, and the amount of people that you and I have spoken to and connected with and touched and affected and have affected us. How many transgenders have you met in your life?
That I know of? I could count them on one hand.
Exactly. So, no.
And not discounting the possibility that there's others that I didn't even know were.
Right.
Let's throw two. Let's throw two hands in there.
Sure, but that's my point. In all those years, 10. There's no way that is enough.
Yeah.
So that would be my solution. You can compete, but you're not gonna get the gold medal, and you're not gonna get the record.
Yeah.
Because it's not fair. Right? It's an asterisk almost.
Yeah.
That would be mine. Will be yours.
It's kind of like the steroids of this whole thing. You know, what is Barry Bonds to the sport of baseball? Well, they say he, you know, whether he admitted, I don't remember the finality if he admitted to doing steroids.
I don't think that him and A-Rod.
But
right?
but at the end of the day, he still had to hit the fucking ball. He still had 100-mile-an-hour ball coming at him that he still had to hit. So okay, so if he enhanced himself, I drugged myself, and so like the gender affirming drugs,
Right.
that gave you a physical advantage,
Right.
over the women. It's, to me, it's obvious that it's not fair,
Right.
but also to a certain perspective, it's not fair to the athlete either. And we're talking about a minor percentage of people that truly are affected by this.
I think that, and I've always said this when it comes to transgender athletes, somebody's getting fucked,
Absolutely.
right? This is one of those where if you believe that transgenders have gone through so much that they deserve this, then you're going to go, I'm sorry, but one transgender athlete and all these other women doing all this stuff, it's a drop in the bucket.
It's insignificant. Absolutely.
It's nothing, right? But it is something to the one girl who didn't get the scholarship,
That didn't get the spot on the team.
that didn't get spot on the team, right? That didn't because of that transgender athlete. So somebody is going to get hosed in this whole situation. And I think that if you're pro-transgender or anti-transgender, it's going to dictate what side you're on of that.
Of the headline, if you will.
Correct.
That's
why I say compete, just don't get a medal.
Yeah. I'm so to each their own.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't affect my household, I don't give a shit. But it's obviously a topic that's become prevalent enough in the news. And if you watch sports, you have ESPN, you watch then shit like that that's going down. And unfortunately, it's so minimal that I guess it has to be on a case-by-case basis. But each individual case gets national attention.
Right. Yeah, this is one of those news stories that back in the day in, a little tiny town of Merced, California, or Stanislaus, California, you know what I mean? Whereas to back in the day, that might not have ever resonated outside of Stanislaus.
Yeah.
Today, that shit is on every major news network.
Because it's an interesting topic. Not the high school girl that was good enough to be on the boys' football team.
Right.
That'll get some.
Right. The kicker, kicker girl.
Yeah. But the other stuff it's just such a.
It's the hot topic.
It's a volatile topic.
Yeah, it's a hot topic. It's right.
And it's one of those where the drama creates a conversation. The conversation keeps the talk. Then now we're going to watch ESPN more because let's see what their update, what the decisions were.
Right.
Do we agree with the decisions that were made?
Right.
And it's just this cycle of banter.
Right.
Where I always believe old white men have to make these decisions.
Right. Yeah. It's interesting in the government, going back and finishing off with government since we started with it. I do think that it's going to be our latter years are going to be interesting because if you look at the House and the Senate separately, and you guys can do this right now, by the way. Well, if you're on your computer or your phone, just go look at it. Look at the picture of the 350 whatever members of the House, and look at the diversity in that.
Yeah.
Like every shade, every color,
Yeah.
every creed,
Yeah, It is not just black and white. It is everything in between,
Right.
which is wonderful.
And when you see, and then look at the 100 senators,
That's a different thing altogether.
and that is pretty much still dominated by old white men. So I think it's going to be a very interesting time when those representatives start running for those Senate seats, and then the Senate starts looking more diverse. Right? More blacks, more Latinos, more Asians, more
Muslims, you name it.
Muslim, whatever it is, right? Indians,
Yeah.
or well, Americans of India, so whatever it is. Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be interesting to see when that occurs, what changes. Because I think one of America's biggest fears of the people that live here is they're gonna change this country, man. They're gonna change it, and they do, by the way. I have seen, first of all, the explosion of food in this country. Ethnic food. Unbelievable, bro. I mean, do you remember when you were a kid driving around? There weren't this many restaurants, bro. And there for sure weren't all these, every kind of restaurant you can imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, Italian was Italian.
Yeah.
Now you got, no, this is Neapolitan. No, this is Southern. No, this is this kind of Italian. No, this is that kind of Italian. It's like,
This is a ristorante. This is a trattoria. I don't know what the fuck the difference
yes,
is.
yeah, I don't either, bro. But that explosion.
But I'll eat it all.
Yeah,
I'll give it all a shot.
and I welcome that. I welcome the taco truck.
Yeah.
I welcome the falafel guy.
Yeah.
You know, I love going to New York and seeing all those stands outside,
Yeah.
getting a pretzel, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. What's that smell? Maluk. Whatever that is, bro.
Let's give it a shot.
Give me some maluk, whatever that is, bro. Let's put it in there. But I do grant those that say that these immigrants changed this country. They did. But they also changed the country in very positive ways. Well, not that that's negative, but the majority of Fortune 500 CEOs of companies that just joined the Fortune 500 company, the majority of them, went to a state school, not a Ivy League.
Huh.
So the majority of CEOs of new companies, Fortune 500,
Yeah.
not members of the elite. And the majority of them are immigrants, vast majority immigrants, or first-generation Americans, like my sister. I'm not. I was still born in Honduras.
Yeah.
But she's the first one born here, my younger sister. So that. I'm interested to see what they're going to bring to the table when they have the power to start enacting laws.
Yeah. Because I think the melting pot is still melting. There's
Yes.
still so much. 100 years from now, it's still going to be like, I'm still excited about what else is coming in.
Well, yeah, because think about where we haven't been influenced by very much.
Yeah.
Right? India is right now, there's two groups of people in this country that are exploding. The Hindu Indian population coming to this country.
Yeah.
That's one. And the Filipino. Those are two huge groups of people that are coming right now and influencing, and they're influencing because National City back in the day, I don't know if you know, and I'm saying this because I'm going to San Diego this weekend, but National City used to be puro Mexico, all Mexican, everything Mexican, bro. Tortilleria, panaderia, carniceria, you know what I mean? I went there the other day, I was like, the fuck, what? When did shit? And they're like, yeah, Carlos, there's a lot of Filipinos here now. And so I've witnessed the change in some of the neighborhoods that I kind of grew up in, but I don't see it as a bad thing.
It's
awesome.
it's an evolution. That's all it is. It's just.
But not all evolution is welcome for all people. You know what I mean? Do you know people? I know people like that.
Of course.
Right? That, fuck, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? I know those people. And I know some of them, the older in my family. Most of them are passed away, but they were those people.
Yeah.
It's going to be an interesting world, bro, to see. And like you're saying, there's way more influence. Africa has never been a huge influence in this country yet. There's been some movies where they do a thing about Ethiopian food because that's, you eat with your hands and stuff, and that's the kind of thing. And I've been there, but not like a really big influence. And African Americans, they're not that influence because the most American people in this country, in my opinion, are African Americans or black people, whatever you want to call, because they have no heritage left. We stripped them of all that heritage. Yeah. Everything they are is a product of something.
They're truly American.
Yes, like nobody else.
Like they were removed.
Like nobody else.
At least like the Europeans that came here still carry their European heritage.
Yes. Their last names, hey, what's my name is Milosevic.
Yeah.
You're Eastern Bloc, bro. Former Ukraine, former Yugoslavia, Czech Republic. What?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. My name is Don Ton Smith. That's a black guy from Africa whose name was probably Indembueno, Ambupe, Mbappe, Ambuti. You know what I mean? Nope. Jackson Brown, right? So they are the most American people, ironically, in this country, even though for so long they were treated like the least American.
Correct.
What the fuck is that all about? I hope that, I know it's happening. Us jamming ourselves into this world. You know what I mean? Like right now by my house, 5 brand new Indian restaurants opened up.
Wow.
5. Literally a mile from each other. They're not all going to survive. But I know that the ones that do survive are the ones that are going to be the best food, the ones that influence, the one that, you know what I mean? And so gonna separate the wheat from the chaff, but it's gonna come together.
Yeah.
And I think shoving us all together it just makes us more tolerant, makes us better people, more accepting, I mean, you don't have kids, but
we adapt.
I have no idea what the fuck my kids are gonna come home with.
But your kids are adapting. You don't even realize. They don't even realize they're adapting.
Yeah. No, they don't. And you know what? It's funny, bro, because what you and I are gonna do right after this podcast is go, what are we gonna eat? The cool thing, bro, is my 8-year-old will go, oh, Dad, I don't want Mexican today, Dad. can we go get ramen at that place that over there? I go, yeah, sure. But yeah, let's go over there. Yeah, Dad, and order me the one with the egg, but you could have my egg. Okay, cool. Like, I love that he's like what you're saying.
Yeah.
He doesn't even, to him, it's food.
It's not a different culture. It's just that food sounds good right now.
Yeah, all he goes is, I don't want rice and beans, and can we have something else? I think that's
It's fucking beautiful, is what
right?
it is. Yes.
I agree. Anyway, yay, the government is not shut down. Yay, I get to fly again without all these delays. You know what? I have no idea how this episode turned into an hour, but it did. We just, you know what? We really just talk about stuff that we hope that in our different voices that you guys are going to see yourselves in it, or you're going to see something that inspires you to behave or act in a way
Or
that
have a conversation.
a simple
That's
conversation.
it. Have a conversation. Talk about it. Like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Just have a conversation.
Yeah. Have a conversation about it, whatever it is. And it's going to be fine, man. Whatever it is. Anyway, hope you're living your best life, everybody. And today we're going to end this by saying, you know, that shit ever since you brought it into my head, bro, has resonated with me. In life, be nice and be ready. Be nice to other human beings and be ready for whatever is to come. That is not my quote. That is his quote. But I'm going to fucking steal it. No, I'm kidding. Okay.
Wow.
I am joking. I can't joke around about that anymore, bro.
I know.
I can't. We'll talk about this next time. Anyway, be kind, be nice, and be ready. See you next time.
See ya.
Bye.